And we're back, live from my bed. Had a bit of a migraine earlier and got the old Hackintosh MacBook Pro in my lap here. Super nice to be able to have these sessions kind of anywhere. But due to the migraine, I've just been chilling out today, trying to recover a little bit. Still a little bit of pain, but I think we can work through that. I think it'll be an interesting exercise just to see what we can come up with despite the shortcomings of my brain. Let me just double check and make sure we've got, yep, set to balance. That means we've got our low CPU setting going. So okay, yeah, I think I just want to mess with some textures today. I actually figured out some new stuff with auto hotkey. Looks like we had some empty spots in there. Yeah, lots of crackles. We could obviously use a final distortion effect instead of the operator, but I think just to conserve on some CPUs, I'll go ahead and put that to one voice at a time. That's all we need for this particular thing going on. But yeah, I got some auto hotkey action going on. Was able to figure out how to get a shortcut key to jump over to this side. And then I've got this auto hotkey that automatically unlinks and selects this link, so I can just go ahead and do some kind of like odd off, kilter sized automation lane. So that's pretty useful. I was really happy to discover that. Yeah, I'll be using that a ton from here on out. And I think what we need also is need some random velocities. Yeah. Cool. So I think and I think the next step for my little select and unlink auto unlink hack with auto hotkey is going to be to add random links here. And then I think I could set the because you can, with auto hotkey, you can make the mouse jump to wherever, and you can actually make it click and drag. And I think I would make it drag, to some random amount too. There's a whole lot you can do with auto hotkey. It's got like a whole built-in function system, and it's pretty amazing app for Windows. I'm not sure if I can think of an equivalent that's quite as powerful for Mac, but I'm sure there's something out there. If somebody knows of one, I would love to also know about it. So yeah, maybe throw it in the comments or whatever. I would love to know. Cool. And I've also found with the link there, if you kind of throw at least, this at like 1 or 3, it's usually, throws it off just enough. So even if you don't want to, drag it slightly off the grid there, just setting this number here, and this to maybe like 1, or it is just can become odd enough as long as you have enough automation lanes that are just all at different lengths, if that makes any sense. Apologies if I don't make sense on this day. Bit of a slog, I say, today. I want to automate this here. I just love this automatic mouse moving and clicking for me. Just once we get to the point in technology where we basically can have, you know, something hooked up to our brain and we could just think about it and have a mouse move. I swear I saw something. There's already some kind of technology that handles this for disabled people. But, you know, you could wink with one eye to send a mouse click. Gosh, I'd never leave my bed. I would just become such a loser. Just hooked up to a machine like a precog in a movie, whatever that sci-fi movie. Can't think today. Cool. Definitely want to automate that. Also, if we drag the start point of our beloved automation, unlinked automation lane, if we drag that start point to a random spot too, it also, you know, creates a lot more polyrhythmic type of action. Yay. Sounds like little mice, robo mice. Curious if we put a resonator. Yeah, let's go ahead and automate that. It's the only shortcoming of this auto hotkey automatic mouse moving thing is that, you know, you can specify an XY point for the mouse to move to. So like if we prearrange, like if this moves up here, it won't work. The mouse will just jump to this spot down here. So I just have it working off of Ableton's default positioning for this UI panel here. That's okay with me. Just have to remember to move it back if I need to. Cool. And I think I'm gonna add a bit of an modulation. That's another thing I need to do is get the have an auto hotkey that deals with modulation unlinking. There we go. So it's a bit more clicky and textural. Old-fashioned delay on there. Let's see what happens if we crank the feedback and we get that tonal carpless. Robots. All right, we'll leave that on the back burner. I think I'm gonna pull in. I like these crackles. They're nice and juicy. Let's see what they'll sound like with a bit of a tone. Kind of spooky. maybe we could add like just a bit of a noise stage. Go ahead and put this here for now. Let's group it and let's mute the input on it. First, we'll add another chain. This could be our dry. Mute this. Add some crackle. And then our vocoder will sort of space out. Now let's go ahead and automate this attack here. I do like this video. I'm not really sure who it is. It's all part of this this giant set of video clips that I have that I was using to perform with a long time ago. I used to do some VJ stuff, various clubs, or some promoter friends. And it's kind of a fun little breath of fresh air, you know, from doing the music thing all the time. Definitely doesn't pay really well, but of course that's not the point. But when, you know, you're in a nice venue like a theater or a club and you can see the visuals you're doing on a really nice big screen, that feels pretty awesome. And so I'd mostly just do it for... Ooh, that's hot. Maybe a compressor. You could also... Oh. So maybe I want to sort of take these and pull them up just a bit. There we go. And let's add a tremolo to kind of break up the monotony of it a little bit, make the dynamics kind of roll in and out. Wish this tremolo went below 0.05. I guess I could use a VST or find a Max for Live patch to do that. Let's try some other settings on this corpus. All right, I want to play with that then. Thank you, robots. You make my life so much more enriched. Referring to the auto hotkey robots, of course. Okay, yeah, so maybe... we'll just keep the tune for that corpus kind of low. I liked it a bit lower. All right, well, let's sit with that for a minute and move on to something else. Maybe, again, I want to try working with, like, this tension. But I want to mess with collision because I feel really not familiar with it at all. And usually what I like to do at that point is kind of just play with some of the presets. All right. Very mysterious. Let's try attack pad. Huh. Almost has like a cello sort of sound to it. Wish I could add an attack though. Honestly. Is there an attack in there? Or, oh. No, that's just for vibrato. Maybe this here. Ay, ay, ay. Not a fan of this. Maybe it's this. Wow, it really does have that bowed guitar sound to it. I'll see what we can play with to give it some... Oh, did I just break you? I guess it is set to bow, so that makes sense. We're getting that sound that we are. Where'd you go? Maybe I'll move the delay over here and just play around with that and see what maybe we'll get lucky. This is also starting to sound so avant-garde. You just see a whole room full of 10 serious people dressed in black and white. Everyone looks real serious, and the musicians are just so serious, as though it's their last performance before they die. And then this kind of just goes on for, you know, 30 minutes. Same shit for 30 minutes. And then everyone's just weeping and pissing themselves by the end of it. The height of pretension. No, I actually do like, you know, a lot of minimal and artsy, you know, obviously like the Off the Sky stuff kind of can have that sort of, you know, it's a bit more pop in a sense that the melodies are a lot more, you know, it's not as atonal as something like this. Okay, let's go ahead and give ourselves a lot of runway here and just start moving that there. This here delay around. Subtle movement. Like a haiku. Or like a winter's breath. in the summer. No. I could just hear somebody reciting poetry on top of this, you know, and this delay thing I'm doing, this effect of, you know, high feedback delay, carpless strong kind of, I mean, it's the same principle that the tension and collision in applied acoustics corpus, you know, all employ that kind of internal feedback loop, delay loop. It's surprising how, you know, natural it can sound, oddly acousmatic, or, you know, as though you're holding up a mic to some vibrating metal object, or, you know, it usually does sound kind of metallic. But all right, so let's see, did we get all that? Looks like not in here, maybe. Or maybe we want it to sort of hold. Okay, we'll just call this artsy drone, and we'll just call this bits of texture. And I could hear also like a, well, you know, playing around with this earlier sounded kind of nice, so let's, yeah, that gives us an extra layer of evolving timbre. Sometimes I really do love this kind of minimal sound. If it's done well, it can also, if it goes on for too long, you know, it could really wear its welcome out. Some ambient artists, you know, think that the longer and, you know, more boring it is, the more important it is. I often wondered about that, and there's a lot of people in music that feel that way, and it's, you know, kind of runs alongside that whole academic mentality in music of, you know, the more tedious it is, then the more, I guess, important it is. And I feel like that's, you know, kind of a ridiculous notion, but also, you know, when I thought about it just today, I was thinking about this, like, why is it that people think the more boring or tedious something is, the better it is, or something? Or, you know, is it that you can't take something serious unless it's super serious sounding? Or, and, you know, I always kind of like knocked that kind of thinking, but, you know, after thinking some more about it, you know, and trying to be objective and open-minded, you know, I came to some conclusion that, you know, the mentality, at least in academia, is, well, if you're challenging yourself and it's difficult and it's something unfamiliar and you're having to deal with change and you're having to deal with tediousness, you know, you're essentially, by confronting that and sort of putting yourself through that experience, you're having to grow some and learn something new, learn how to deal with something unfamiliar. And as humans, of course, we're just slaves to familiarity sometimes. So it makes sense in a way why people would think, well, the more difficult it is, the more challenging it is, therefore the more you have potential to expand your horizon and grow from that. And in thinking about it that way, you know, it makes a lot more sense. It doesn't make a lot of the really boring, you know, music that's way cooler in theory than actual in practice, which is really a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of academic music. It doesn't make that stuff any better. It makes it maybe somewhat more understandable in a sense, at least so that I'm not, you know, so quick to judge that, oh, this is just some pretentious ass shit. So anyway, all that is to say that, well, you know, sometimes tedious music is actually really good and healthy, and maybe sometimes we should like force ourselves a little bit to try and experience something that we don't normally like, because maybe we'll actually grow. And, you know, as they say, it's the struggle that makes you stronger. And in a way, physically, that is so true. Like, we will atrophy if we're not constantly working out our brain, and you know, we'll have mental atrophy. It's something that's been known to happen with people who are stuck in solitary confinement in prisons, etc., etc. But there is also a fine line between, you know, minimalism and just straight up laziness. And unfortunately, with like drone music, there is a lot of lazy ideas. And so anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox and get back to sketching, but it's nice to sketch ideas out too, verbally, and I think talking about it kind of helps solidify it some more. So that's not a bad thing per se. I think we're here. This, for me, this whole sketch project is not only for me to learn and try new things and push myself and struggle a little bit, but also, you know, to express some of these ideas along the way, and I guess help myself grow in that way. So, you know, I think it'll be good, and maybe somebody else will get something out of that, or maybe not. And it really doesn't matter in the end, because it's just kind of fun to sit here and dork out and make some weird noises with my mouth, apparently. All right, so I want to hear what this will sound like octaved, is that a word? Octaved down. All right, it's not bad. I mean, I could hear these two working together, these two notes. Huh. Has a very sort of film soundtrack quality to it, I think. You could even hear a piano playing on top of that. I don't have any decent piano samples to work with here. Plus, I want to be able to share all these with you, so I think I'm gonna stick with just synthy sources as long as I can. And I guess I do have access to some kind of sample. I am just going to drag this air gas in from an earlier sketch just to hear. Huh, it's almost in key. Maybe a little too much like somebody blow drying their hair in the background. You know, I think if it's really quiet, it could be... Oh, I don't think I want two of those. Yeah. Adds a nice bit of, I suppose, reality, if you will, I think live recordings, field recordings, acoustic recordings, etc., have that wonderful real life quality to them, and it's nice to sort of. I like using both synthy sounds and really anything that makes a sound is an instrument in my opinion, and I think it's worth exploring and using everything and being super open-minded. I guess at some point you kind of got to lock down and decide, you know, like, where am I going to go with all this? Is it going to be a techno track, or like, you know, give yourself some parameters. Okay, now I could, you know, if we were going to take this to a rhythmic space vibe, whatever, I could hear some kind of pulse, or it's like B is our note. Yeah, electric is, you know, kind of a I can't decide if I even like electric at all. Maybe I just need to play with it more, do some more experiments. You know, that electric piano sound is, you know, for certain kinds of music, you gotta have it. Obviously, funk, soul, R&B, hip-hop, in a lot of cases. But I do at least like that we have all these like the options for the pickup. Some reminds me of Lounge Lizard, which Applied Acoustics made. I think there's out of control. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a limiter. Yeah. Again, I really wish we could, you know, well, I suppose we could just make our own attack happen. Drop a... Well, we've got our global volume, obviously. We'll try that. Hopefully it's not clicky. I see. It's interesting that it's not... that we're getting that click there. That's kind of a bummer. So anyway, we'll then bypass this effect altogether. I'll go ahead and just... There we go. A bit more of a fade in. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. I like to try to clean up wherever possible. I do kind of like that, honestly. It's kind of an odd, even though it sounds out of key. I'm curious what happens when we pitch that down. It's almost flatulating a little bit. I wish we could get more changes to happen while the sound is... while it's being held, but it sounds like most of these settings are only being affected right when the note hits. Or I should say, these parameters I'm moving are only affecting with each note hit. I can't even get that thought out. Brain equals fried today. I think I'd rather just volume just kind of stop. I'm not convinced, but maybe we'll just, you know, I like to drag a grain delay on top of things when I run out of ideas or get sort of tired of trying to squeeze a sound out of a synth or something. And maybe it's happening a little too frequently, so maybe every... Oh, I like this bits of texture layer. Some random stuff is happening there every now and then. I like that kind of bassy thunk. I think what I need to do is just sort of automate these being sort of moved around and at different automation lane lengths. Oh, see, I need to move this back down, and now we can hit our sweetness. All right, so let's get these in some odd positions. Okay, so that one, let's do this one. Let's have this one be a bit shorter. Thinking what I'm hearing. Let's this one here. Let's make it 333. Good measure. Whoops. 333. 2, whatever. Who cares? Alright, and can we automate this thing? No? Well, that's a bummer. I'm going to group this. Sometimes when you group things and you hit map, bummer. Sometimes you can map to certain things that don't let you automate when you right click. All right. Let's do this one also. Cool. Now I'm going to turn on my board. This sounds so serious. It's so serious, so I think people will take it more seriously, obviously. That's the thought anyway, right? If it's not serious, nobody will take it seriously. What a lie. Maybe that's why a lot of music now is sounding so sad and serious, and who knows? Who cares? Let's just sketch and not care what else is going on in the world. That's why I love sketching, because it's so easy to just zone out and not like care at all about the garbage of the day, or it definitely gets my mind off of of a migraine, that's for sure. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead and just automate all these knobs. I don't even care. We'll go back and adjust their... Cool. Thank you. Get over here. Here we go. Thank you. Drag this over here. I'm also going to make an auto hotkey to select simplify. I really love that feature. Makes things a lot smoother. So Alt AU. Yay. I wonder what happens when we put a little bit of pitch bend. Maybe it'll just get too weird. Maybe it doesn't do anything. Actually, maybe there's like a I don't know what this stretch is. Oh, I guess this is probably dealing with the time of the envelopes and such. Yeah, that'd be my guess. And we will go ahead and not have that work. Yay. Alright. Get over there and you get over there. I like to talk to my automation. It's you know, really get to know it. Get on the level with it. Oh yeah, this one also, I think I really wanted to play with the oh yeah, stuff just got super weirdville. And you know, if you duplicate, you know, obviously you can start play on it at different times, and you'll get, you know, the automations that are duplicated over will be in different sync together. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that some of these have these extra options here, and that's not going to work with my script. I'll have to think of another way around it. Is this when the ultra dark beat, slow and tortured beat comes in, like Christophe de Babylon? Well, Christophe de Babylon is more like crazy drum and bass. Got ourselves a stupid little... Should definitely change this to anything other than 120, right? Let's be more original than that. I need to fix this so that it's not on all the time. Maybe make an auto hotkey that just turns it on only when I'm pressing the key down. That would be useful. That's deep. I also just kind of wanted to hear what this would sound like with yeah, brain fart. I do like the drive on this strum bus. I think it's smooth, it's lively, it's smooth, it's warm, it's luscious, it's a bunch of random bullshit words. I just, you know, I have this rhythm in my head. I kind of want to try and get it out. That's creepy. There's some creepy... I think the pitch bend added to the... Oh, I see. The pitch bend that we added to these bowed layers is... It's kind of scary. I think for now I'm gonna just wet dry this down. Because making that layer a bit too loud anyway. I wonder if we could put like a clack. Let's just try it. Alright, so this obviously needs to be moved up one. And then let's see if we can yank a clack out. Let's try this loop function here. Maybe I need a different... algorithm. See, this basically says... Oh, I see. This is... I'm thinking of this as upside down. God, I really wish I could... have a filter on each of these voices. Let's just hear what this will sound like if we add a little bit of dirt in there. May not be what we're looking for. Yeah, I think something where like the reverb pulses, and obviously we could set up a like a side chaining situation, but It's also nice to draw it in there. That's fun. Okay, so obviously I want to animate this frequency here. Yeah, this one's got an extra option too. Play by key. I see. Well, at least this thing still works. Okay, so let's just go ahead and draw it in by hand. Where did our clack go? Maybe I turned play by key on? No, that can't be it. Maybe we need to move this up a bit. That's what it is. I think the kick I'm hearing. Definitely need to change the algorithm on this one so we get both sides. I also like this one because it kind of splits these off into two. Yeah, I also want to hear what this this loop will sound like. I just discovered this loop feature. It's nice because it loops the envelope, and you get some really funky ricochet and scattery kind of sounds. Yeah, let's go ahead and modulate that. Turn the volume of this one down a little bit and just pull this down here. And I'm curious what we get with a white noise mixed in there. And sometimes I think it's great to just muck about with the LFOs, especially on nice because it kind of, well, with this retrigger it adds that whoop. And we could also mess around with the like this kind of breathing sounding let's see how far we got with that one. Cool. All good to go there. Beat has a lot of tension in it. I could almost hear yeah, we could tune that rate. I almost hear like a counter type of rhythm going on. Let's just go ahead and duplicate this. I did not want to do that. Yowzes. Knock knock, who's there? Almost sounds like Roadrunner. Oh, boop. From that old stupid Looney Tunes cartoon. That's awesome. And I'm going to modulate this volume, give us a little bit more fade in. It sounds like 3 are shooting off. Maybe I'll try an idea because it seems a bit repetitive. I say maybe a lot, and then I just do what I say maybe I'll do, and I feel like I should just shut up and do it. Alright, so we're gonna mute this one. We only get that ourselves a volume and hear it at all. Or that is a weird sound. Three. Really alien, tubular alien type of sounds coming through. I like it. It's really kind of fitting with this dark noir experimental footage in the background. Got a full spread there? Yes, we do. Very good. I'll go ahead and move that. I want something more to be modulating on this kick here. And maybe also what we need is a little bit of yeah, that sort of white noise shaker sound on the kick to kind of be ever so often. We are. Now, where else can we take this? I can almost hear like a white noise. Swell somewhere in here. This could just be a terrible idea, but maybe there's no such thing as a terrible idea. When it comes to sketching, the bane of my existence. Go ahead and turn that off there. I really, I get so caught up in what I'm doing, I forget that that's even on. Or maybe I could get a Max for Live thing to show up with like a bright red, you know, square here to also have that linked. You know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just make a little utility for myself. See what how we're doing on time here. An hour and throughout, I really just lose track of time with these sketches. Hopefully this track hasn't been drowning out my voice. Probably my voice needs to be drowned out. So, just about done here with our little minimal. I like that kind of suction-y. And we could just have it slowly stepping up and down filter frequency. Yeah, I think in order to achieve that, I really need to do a multiple of 6. What do we got here? It's looks like 2. Sorry, multiple of 2. I'll just say 2 times 12 is 24, and then just keep stepping it down. Maybe do a little. I also kind of like it when it slides up. Let's try to add another note in here. Maybe this will be dumb, but maybe not. Ay. Delete that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to build a utility for myself so that when this thing is on, it's apparently I just cannot notice it very well. Sounded just sort of almost down home country with these notes. Go ahead and just, yeah, keep it at that. And I'm curious too what this beat will sound like with a little bit more. Maybe a bit more presence on this texture. It's getting a little lost. And we could also add in broad strokes here, but our own little low pass. Curious also what a grain delay will sound like. At an octave down. Let me turn down the noise over here. All this noise. And our kick needs some help. Maybe a drum bus dropped in here. I mean, that definitely takes it up a notch. Maybe too many notches, though. That almost 808 resonance. Yeah, a bit more tuned with the string things. almost lose our base with it pitched that way. Oh. Like it kind of jumping around like this. I'm curious too, what if we ramp it? Like it ramping down like that. Yeah, ramping down is alright. Ramping up sounds a little goof. We're going for serious here, so people will take us seriously. Yeah, definitely more work to be done to perfect it, but, you know, as far as the sketch goes, I could live with it for now. Oh, we're running out of CPU. I think my computer is finally telling me you need to wrap this thing up. I guess one good thing about building these sketches with such a low CPU is, you know, if we get enough of them, obviously we can get a bunch working together in a live set. Because, you know, when I turn up my power... Oh, looks like we're running out of... Yeah, looks like, you know, only using 20-30%. Not too bad. Definitely almost out of battery, too. I think running volume and talking too much, and it's taking its toll. Cool. Alright, well then I'm just going to leave it at that and let this play out for a few minutes and then call it a night. Thanks for bearing with me and my silly migraine brain. Until next time, folks.